I'm Jim Evans. I'm a partner in the Labor and Employment Practice Group for Alston & Bird here in Los Angeles. Today I'd like to talk to you about one of the hottest topics around, that is misclassification of employees as independent contractors. The Uber decision has grabbed big headlines in a big way across the nation. It sent shudders through many companies as they examine their relationships and ask themselves, could I also be sued and held accountable as an employer when I didn't anticipate that? Many companies, because of technology, are taking advantage of not having employees in the workplace. And some are choosing not to properly characterize folks as employees, but instead treating them as independent contractors. These characterizations are drawing great scrutiny from the federal government, from state government, and most especially from plaintiffs' class action attorneys. So it's important, if you have independent contractor relationships, to examine them. Ask yourself, is this person properly characterized as an independent contractor? If you're exercising control over those people, you're probably going to need to treat them as an employee rather than as an independent contractor. If they should be treated as employees, change the arrangement. It's not going to save you any money in the long run if you wind up with a lawsuit or the scrutiny of federal or state regulator. What the government's going to look at, what plaintiffs' lawyers are going to look at, is control. How much control are you exercising over those folks who you call independent contractors? Make sure you're not telling them exactly how they should do your job. An independent contractor is somebody that you hire and you leave it to them to take up the means and methods of how they get their jobs done. If you're prescribing how it's supposed to get done, odds are it could be reclassified and you might wind up with a large bill on your desk. Review your training materials. Even some independent contractors require some training. You need to tell them, for example, what it is you'd like them to do, the deadline by which they should accomplish a given task, and maybe even some of the parameters of how they should accomplish the task. The next step that you should do is take a look at your written materials. Any materials that you provide to the independent contractor are kept only by the independent contractor, the employer of those folks, and not disseminated to the folks. It's important that the people who are working for the independent contractor understand that they work for the independent contractor, not for you. The final word here. One of the best ways to avoid class action lawsuits is with an arbitration agreement that includes a class action waiver and that's governed by the Federal Arbitration Act. You can have your independent contractor not only sign one of those things, but bind the folks that work for that independent contractor. So if you do get sued, you have a means of extricating yourself as a company from class action litigation, and the individual claims will go to arbitration. In sum, I think it's critical to take a deep breath, take a step back, take a look at your materials, your written materials, take a look at your relationships, examine whether they're appropriately classified as independent contractors or employees. And once you do that, I think you'll be in a much better position to avoid litigation.